premier AD mid lane picks, which looks like the hovering. It's a Creme classic. We said he's got into mages, but he is more than happy to go towards one of his most played and most successful all time in the Yone.
And if you can get past 25 minutes into 3 items, really, I think it just becomes so hard to play around because you have those instant engages from the Fate Seal. The Rumble, which has been banned away literally all night, is going to make it through here for LNG as their first pick, immediately followed up by the Sejuani.
All right, so it takes the Sejuani away from the Yone, which can be a powerful combo. It combos up very well with the Rumble too, so they'll have the engage and long-range follow-up, which can be nice to play against, play with. It also answers the Skarner well. There are 3 picks which have done well into the Skarner on individual lane matchups, and they have been the Mordekaiser, the Twisted Fate, and then the Rumble. So top esports, they hover it, and they say, okay, maybe let's not do that right now. There's still a place to lock it in here, but top esports, they secure themselves their own AD mid, AP jungler duo.
The brand, so difficult to deal with the clear speed, but also in the team fights. So much damage that goes just kind of unwatched because of the Pyroclasm ticking underneath you and things like that. So many other things to deal with, especially in a composition that has Skarner and Yone. You're going to be looking at everything but the little things of fire jumping around you. It will be a pretty tough 3-pick here. Okay, they're going to go for the Jace.
Okay. So, Scout has always been a very confident Jace play. He was one of the very best Jaces in 2023. One of the reasons why Scout found himself to a 5-game summer final versus that Golden Road hopeful team, the super team of JDG in summer finals last year. A lot of it was off of his Jace. So powerful. It's not a bad combo, actually, with the Sejuani. You can get some good kind of engage into full burst combo. Anyone who can pin something down in front of Jace to get a full combo on is probably not going to be living through it. So LNG, they've got themselves, as we said, one of the things we look for, a fairly clear composition to play towards. The Sejuani goes forwards, huge follow-up following behind it. See if they can take off those first targets to win a team fight.
I love that we're saving second phase for ADs and bot lane matchups. We get the Varus first banned away by the top. It is also LNG banning the Rel. A couple big picks still on the table, like the Leona.
Yeah, that Leona is really key. I think if LNG get themselves another source of engage, I think they're very happy to lock in maybe even something like Gala's Kai'Sa. They could even go towards that. Potential for big follow-up there. Ezreal going away means that, of course, that means that top esports will have themselves something which is less likely to survive their own and get the LNG engage. They're looking for a backline that can contribute to the fights, but hopefully not get picked up. As he said, there was a threat of that Gala Kai'Sa. Banned away.
Not gonna fall to the pentakill prince once again. Still, again, Kai'Sa a lethal pick in the hands of Gala. We'll see what their AD pick wants to be, or if they want to go ahead and lock in that support. I think counter pick can be pretty important in bot lane, especially when we're looking at a lot of resources heading down that way this time around, and I like the Leona grab away by LNG.
And it's a confident pick for Hung as well, who is, as we said, really good at following engage with another engaged champion. So if WeiWei goes in, expect Hung to be close behind, and you're now looking at Gala for something that can follow that engage well. So you're looking at stuff, you could even go towards something like the Kalista if you wanted to, can help Hung get in and out. Top esports, what are they looking at? They lock in the Ashe, which is very, very powerful at starting off a little bit of engage, and because you have the engage from AD carry, you can lock in something like the Braum to deny the Leona. Well, the Ashe does a little bit of the engage that we normally expect from support.
It's like when you're looking at 2 puzzles, and one was made by maybe a 20-plus-year-old, the other one was made by a 3-year-old. It's good pieces. The pieces are all there, right, for LNG. But it's a little bit harder to combine them together. Maybe this will be the glue that makes it all come together, a little bit of utility, but some backup in the engage. Whereas top esports, it looks good and it fits easily together. They have a lot of go buttons and a lot of damage to follow it up with wombo combos.
Yeah, I think both of these teams are going to be looking for, again, that first big combo entry into that fight. Meiko picking up his second most played champion of all time. This will be game number 110 from what I can tell. Well, it's going to be even more than that because actually the site I'm checking on doesn't always check towards the early season. Folks, Meiko's played a lot of Brawl, basically. I need to go check the true numbers on that one. I almost bamboozled myself. Gala picking up that Ziggs, one of his most successful champions too. Really does feel like that bot lane has so many go buttons. If you get an advantage in that bot lane, should spill over onto the rest of the map.
That range going to be super important for LNG, and I really, really like the Ziggs Jace combo. You got to remember, this is Fearless, So the picks that are chosen by their respective teams are not going to be available any further into the series for them. So there's a lot of big ones chosen in game number 1. Both teams want to start off strong here. Remember, this is a battle in Group C. Top Esports have been ever so dominant, undefeated, unblooded. And LNG themselves, they've had a struggling season so far. They need every win they can get to try to take that second spot, the only spot available left in Group C to promote to the Group A of the Rumble. We're getting into game 1 of this second series of the night here, and this one's in Suzhou. Should be a lot of fun with the compositions we have, but all eyes on resources bot lane, and all eyes on the spotlight that is Tian and WeiWei.
So, LNG somewhat fighting for their lives. It feels like if they lose this one, they will kiss themselves a chance to the upper group goodbye. It means an awful lot. They need to start strong.
I was hoping we were going to get some Gyos, but no cheers coming through, at least in the... oh, I see them cheering. We just don't hear it. So it's happening. We just have to imagine it. But something that has... There we go. We got the level 1s that have been rampant in the LPL, and Top Esports looking for a potential late level 1 with this Braum.
The Braum level 1, we saw, of course, Anyone's Legend try it in that last game and get stopped by a Nautilus, who was also very strong at that level 1. They go walking into the enemy jungle. They don't find that much, but they will manage to maybe drop down a ward onto the first buff of the game. See if whether Meiko can do that. And Meiko, this will be his 129th game on Braum across his career. He has played so much of this champion. I cannot tell you how much. But folks, there are people in their careers who haven't played 129 games total. He's played it on one champion. He's actually, with this, draws level to his Alistair as most played champion for all time. Both equal on 129 games. So it's, put it simply, this is comfort for the man in the support role. See how much you can get with that. And he misses his first Q.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I
wasn't going to say anything, but you know, I don't know. Result-based analysis always comes back to mind. I'm just saying. No, but I do really like this aggressive combo for JackeyLove and Meiko. They'll have a lot of say in how this 2v2 goes. And I expect maybe the Dragon to be a little bit more priority for Tian.
Well, I mean, if you got that winning bot side, it makes it really, really easy to do that. Scout.
Goodness.
We was saying how good Scout was on that Jace, and having the early lane control really helps. Now, Scout is not always known as a laning specialist within the LPL, but what I think he specifically does well is take an early matchup and say, this is what I'm going to do with it. He's got the early push. I want to see him translate this into something else. That has sometimes been the issue from LNG. He has wave control, has himself a really good trade so far. Can he combo up with WeiWei to do something with these good trades?
That's the key, though. It's the WeiWei addition to this mid lane, and something we need to see come together if LNG want to be productive in this split, it feels like, because that has been something that's definitely been lacking a lot so far. JackeyLove and Meiko get the full push under the turret here, under Gala and Hung's ire. It is going to be a full clear towards top side here, and there is a push already by 369.
Yeah, but this is also just a top lane matchup where I don't think you're going to get dives off here. Zika's very, very happy to just clear out. So this will probably be just pushing lanes, trying to contest on scuttles. WeiWei and Tian might be able to have a bit of a confrontation there. WeiWei will be able to meet Tian up there with the ward just placed. WeiWei will spot 369.
Arctic Assault hits with the max distance. Ixtal's impact into the wall gets the chain combo there with the electrocute as well by Tian. Flash by WeiWei. Wants a little bit more fight here, but he's burning pretty heavily. Just looking to assert dominance early.
Okay, so what's this going to mean for the top lane, though? I don't quite see the wave state. It's about even, so it's not going to be a freeze on one side or the other. But the early pressure in mid lane from Scout. Oh, Creme, buddy.
Actually a little fancy with it, but a little too fancy with it. And he finds himself left out to dry. No flash, nothing to hold on to. And first blood goes to none other than Scout.
So the early plan from Scout is take the hard trades and use that to allow WeiWei to just wrecking ball through the top side. Yeah, the flash forwards in top jungle, maybe a bit ambitious, but goes straight in towards mid lane. And Creme, who we were just praising for his own comfort on the Yone, can't get anything done. Now 3v2 on bot side.
Meiko locked down here. Actually, the engage from Hung's pretty huge, and WeiWei having made presence down here. One more attack from Gala, And that's 2 already on the board for LNG in a series where this should be top esports favored.
Yeah, fantastic early game from WeiWei. Has now impacted all 3 lanes across the map. He doesn't have flash, he doesn't have HP, so maybe Tian can walk in and maybe stop it. If he can stop his recall, he might be able to mess around with his next respawn of camps. You can see that the bot side's just gone up and WeiWei's solo HP. Yeah, Tian might be looking for these bot side camps. Scout needs to come down if they're going to really fight this, I think, but maybe it's just enough to have Hung and Gala there.
Tian playing with fire here, literally. How often do you get to say that? Oh, Hung actually going to stop his back and doing it anyways. Another minute for the grubs to come up. Tian going to path through mid, spotted out here. Maybe just trying to save the wave state a little bit, but pathing up towards this grub side of the map instead.
Yeah, I love what LNG were doing there to help out WeiWei. Now you can see that Tian, he wants to get involved.
There's just a zombie walking around here. I don't know, he's just shambling ominously.
The last minute has been quite intricate, in fact, because we're going to go back to this bot side. We can see what happened here where Scout, he's taken some really good early trades, but Creme, I don't know what happens here. He queues in and then realizes, oh no, that's a problem. He probably could have E'd forwards and gotten out safely that way. As soon as he presses that E, he realistically knows he's stabbed. He does get the flash from Scout on the other side. After this point, though, Scout did a really good job of making sure he could be present. Bot side fight.
You might not have time to speak. JackeyLove in trouble. He's going to try to cut the angle here, but damage from Gala is good. Satchel charge connects. One more auto. Takes Meiko down. And LNG have found continuous pressure here. Almost 2,000 gold up. 6 minutes in. Hung going to try to bait out the backstop by JackeyLove, but he's cool under pressure.
I think he was trying to bait out the flash from JackeyLove because he sounded like, haha, do this. He didn't really want to go under turret, but he would have taken that either the cleanse or the flash for free. All the same, he's going to walk away and recall completely fine. LNG, you highlighted the bot lane. We said, okay, JackeyLove, Meiko, they're looking on such good form. Because of WeiWei's early pathing and Scout helping him with his late wave state, it's flowed all the way down to the bot side of the map, where Gala and Hung use that to take some really good trades. This has been a comprehensive early game so far from LNG. Love to see it, need to see if they can take it a step further, because this is a great start if they can keep JackeyLove and Meiko down. We did say there are big go buttons there. One of them has started winning out.
Yeah, it definitely has. Oh, Creme, he's in a lot of trouble now too, and it's a Hammer Slammer type evening there. Fate Sealed is going to get him out of there with the help of the Q3, but at least damage done in mid lane, and it also means that WeiWei is just able to clear up these grubs.
Oh, control of mid lane has been so good from LNG so far.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, we haven't had this much chance to praise LNG this split. This is
awesome.
Rare for them. I would have expected this from last year, the organized early game, the clear intention of using waves to go help jungler. 369, not going to get him under tower.
Does have the Ixtal's impact right back there. You see the glitchy situation with the hitboxes there, but Zika.
You can drag people in front of you, even if it looks like it absolutely shouldn't be able to. He almost gets into turret range. He didn't have flash to fully guarantee the angle, so he doesn't quite get turret shots on him. But hey, I mean, that's just a showcase of what Skada can do.
True. I also want to talk a little bit about the lack of priority on the Dragon on bot side. Even LNG with bodies down there weren't willing to start it up. We're now 3 minutes past that spawn point, so I'm curious how often that's going to come up in the future here, especially with a team on both sides that I feel like has some of those scaling options. It's kind of fine seeing what the enemy team can mess up on.
I think the reason why LNG didn't go towards that dragon is they want to be present in the lanes. They don't want to waste time on objectives. They want to force out Creme.
Just a little wide. Gonna get the flash out of WeiWei anyways. Creme going down. Doesn't have the flash himself yet, and Scout strikes another true. And aye, captain there.
We were asking earlier, Scout, you've got a good wave state. You've got good trades in early game. Okay, but what's the plan with it? How do you combo up? Several times now, Scout has comboed up with WeiWei to force Creme into either flashing, ulting, or of course dying the 2 times as well. LNG continued this good early game, and now they will go towards that dragon because they got into those lanes. There's no lane in mid lane to mess around with because you just died. May as well use that free time to get themselves that objective. So they are the ones that get early grubs and early dragon. Top esports. You know, This is the team that is meant to take both of them. LNG just show them a taste of their own medicine.
And I'll just say Creme had a lot of weight on his shoulders this game, and unfortunately it has been a little bit too heavy to bear so far. The Yone can be strong, but when you're down 0-2 to a Jace, and when the Jace unlocks the composition of LNG, it becomes that much harder, because all you got to do is hit a Glacial Prison, and Scout and Gala will follow it right up with a ton of damage. So really nice picks for LNG to start off this series, but really nice gameplay to kick us off as well. WeiWei going to find Tian here in the jungle.
And I feel like with the early gold lead and the items they're about to build up too, as WeiWei gets the red buff too. That's insult to injury. He's walking up, does have ult. You see that Branda has a lot of damage, but that's the Sejuani, that Leona that you mentioned. It makes this composition pretty easy to play once you're ahead of the game. You just fling the ults forwards, follow up, someone dies. If they have, it's pretty nice in that sense. And now LNG have done that early work to make sure that they will have the items to follow up with damage. Top Esports are the ones which are now being asked to find a way back onto the board. They don't have any kills, don't have any objectives so far. Creme is continuing to get chunked out of this mid lane by Scout's Jace, and it feels like Top Esports are under a lot more pressure than they have been in this entire group stage so far.
WeiWei has Glacial Prison back up, so one false move there, and he goes for another kill on there. And I am just astounded at how much of an advantage we've been able to see out of Scout and Gala when we called for it so heavily early on. JackeyLove getting all the ults thrown at him, dodging out of most of it. We said he was cool under pressure, but there's just too much pressure to handle here. He's trying to make it out. Actually, no damage going to fall up with the Pyroclasm. It is going to bounce over onto Hug. Hug wants to clean him up here. Can he get him? No! JackeyLove sidestepping a victory, and honestly, Meiko came up so ridiculously clutch there with the wall.
It takes 3 summoners and 3 ults, but they get themselves a kill, and it does mean that LNG, this early momentum they've built, will get stalled out just a tiny bit. Creme is going to collect that wave as he teleported in, so I suppose it's 4 summoners actually for the cost of that play. So, but will that cost them enough? They are now completely on bot side, and they don't have a way to bring the Yone up towards top side to fight for grubs, but Scout just got traded out, so maybe Top Esports have found this this final relief of pressure to get themselves onto the objective board.
JackeyLove getting a little gold is pretty big. We've seen the Ashe be huge here in the recent meta. Brand loves those little grubbies, but WeiWei loves to have a fight here. TP coming in as well. Gala joining for a ton of damage. Doesn't have the Mega Inferno Bomb, but there's the Glacial Prison to follow up, and that CC chain is one from hell right now. Speaking of hell, that Flame Spitter's hitting the fire onto the backs of Top Esports. Not able to hit that last bomb, but LNG will turn right back around, and they will be able to get 5 grubs. 5 grubs with the Ziggs. Now if they can get themselves the Herald, they could break open mid lane very importantly. You could take that away from the Ashe, so the Ashe can't just stand in mid lane, wave clear, take Fog of War, and use that arrow later on. Going to see JackeyLove and how he escaped that in this previous play. Sidesteps out on the ult first. That Ken's one of the go buttons. Does take the edge of these Ziggs damage, but he's pretty fine at this point. Flashes beyond parts of this, still gets full CC. He still eats like a lot of stuff, but cleanses through the Ignite, manages to just about walk away with the help of Tian and Meiko. I think Meiko even used the heal on him. Meiko blocked so many attacks there by stepping forward. I love to see it. And again, we finally get to see a hugely veteran support help him out, but here is that play over by the grubs.
Taza, it's not Tarzan, I see LNG and I just think about that sometimes. It's Tian rather on the inside. The T jungler couldn't even get himself the ult off in that play. So he flashes, he dies, he doesn't use that ultimate. Scouts gets nailed.
This is the way forward. This is the way for Top Esports. They just got to find picks. They don't get Scout, but you see what can happen. Oh, God, Creme. You see what can happen if Top Esports get exactly the execution that they're looking for with this comp. Oh, flash out from Creme. Gets them out to safety.
Creme has been really shut down, and now LNG have a sizable lead. It wasn't just, you know, the early ganks which petered out to nothing. They're starting to get into a load of stuff. That is the Leon ult to stop the recalls. I don't know exactly what this is going to lead to. I suppose it's just delay some of those resets. Forces Creme on the tower. He might hit a shock blast. I don't think he can realistically kill, but it just forces Top Esports to delay where they wanted to go on the map next. It does mean you don't get to have good resets for the Herald, for the Dragon. I think that's a good use of the Leona ult, because it means that Top Esports are not going to be in position to fight for both objective spawns on the timings that they would have wanted to. Yeah. They're going to be coming out on the map at about the same time.
That's where I want to also bring up Top Esports' condition right now. They did get Leandries for Tian. You got the Canic Rookin for 369. You're going to have a little bit more fight potential if you want to try to contest over the Rift Herald right now while LNG is doing the Dragon. He's going to pull off of it potentially here, but just wants to stick to it. But I think the way that Top Esports can move in is picks off JackeyLove. They have very beefy frontliners and a lot of wombo combo to follow up off it.
Trying to see whether LNG can stop the Herald being started. Yeah, I think they can. I don't think Top Esports want to walk in towards topside completely blind. WeiWei now has ult, has flash. They can start a fight whenever they want, but they take the Dragon. You don't overforce. They go towards the Herald on the top side. And we said, hey, if you can get that Herald with the Ziggs, that's mid lane tower completely gone. Top Esports, they are being shut down massively in terms of their playmaking. They need to find a way to break open this chokehold that's coming through. They're the ones starting the Herald now. LNG do have themselves big ultimates. They can fight for this.
Tian does it ridiculously fast, though, especially with that Leandres. We're going to get the TP in, though. LNG, no slouches in the fight, want to keep pressure around these objectives. Shock Blast not going to hit there. You have JackeyLove moving over. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is up. Meiko goes for the Glacial Fissure there. Ends up getting 369. Zixtal's impact around the corner. Mega Inferno Bomb will hit a couple. Equalizer is beautiful right there. Look at Creme just taking all that damage. Impale goes wide. Top Esports, they've missed every shot, and those shots may be turning around on him here. WeiWei gonna flash away. Zika not able to follow up damage, and we got a little bit of a missing affair here.
And Top Esports can't even finish off the Herald. It resets midway through the play. It means that they don't get that objective. LNG, what have they used for it? The Equalizer, the Solar Flare, well, most of them, all of them. The Jace one doesn't count. So it's not like Top Esports walk away without burning any of LNG's tools. They're just happy to keep pushing in, though. Saw that Scout was pushing bot lane before the Herald teleported back to the objective. Zika's now going to teleport back down towards bot side to make sure that they're not losing waves across the map. But now he is alone with no globals on bot tower.
All by himself, no Equalizer to equalize this fight. But Creme taking a couple extra turret shots might just do that for his own. Fate Sealed out to defense. And now 369 gets blocked up by Meiko. The rest of Top Esports were hovering just in case things went a little worse. No engage tools really available to Top Esports. They need to be careful because they're losing structures up on the top side.
Big mistake from Creme. Why did he take tower aggro? You got it, let's 369. The tank do that so you can stick in range to do damage. Because of that, they can't stick around bot side and break open the turret and kill Zika. They lose top side out of turret. Scout, with of course lethality, is going to shred through that inner tower too. They have a Ziggs on mid lane turret. They have the Herald to use there.
Wow.
LNG, this is a masterclass. They need to survive on bot side, but the cross map is already so good.
Might be the best game of LNG split so far, and they might look at more here. They do get Creme a kill in the end. Hung locked down under turret here. A couple turret shots going out. Creme need to be careful. That shot did a lot. They lost 2 turrets in top, 2 turrets in mid, maybe an inhib and a body in mid as well. JackeyLove gets the outplay though. Huge plays on the WeiWei, but the turret falls at the last second. Gala saves his jungler, and LNG have done lasting damage.
Hang on, is that a 5-for-1 turret trade? I can't remember whether the mid turret fell in the outer one fell in that.
No, the outer one fell. They waited and then used the Rift Herald on the second one.
Oh, I would. So they take both top lane turrets. They take everything down to the inhib turret on mid lane. LNG just absolutely demolished a whole city block. Top Esports, they had to overweight to dive that bot lane outer turret. They don't get it done in time. They lose. You know, they lose so many towers that it doesn't matter that they get 2 kills and the tower. They are so far behind in the overall wins.
That inhib being open is going to be so difficult. Just move Gala around the map, and it works so well. It's huge to see Gala step up on the Ziggs in this first game. He's almost on, or I guess he just completed that second item. Going to be getting to his third here, but he also got second item for Scout, who's going to be claiming more of the destruction of the base of Top Esports. And LNG, they're trying to move on to Tian. Meiko's the one that's going to take all the damage, and that Equalizer's doing work right there. It's cooking them from underneath.
And now because they've managed to push in bot side, by the way, Scout even did the, the really annoying move and allowed the cannon minion to die to the tower, so Top Esports don't even get a single cannon minion from that wave. Managed to walk in towards bot side with the wave, and it feels like LNG, somehow they have found their macro chops again. This is a team where from last year, they played like the LCK organized macro movement team within the LPL. They were calm, they were collected, and they would play for big cross maps. They have struggled to do that the entirety of this year. And somehow, when their backs up are against the wall, against the undefeated in-game top esports, they're currently 8-0, they find themselves again. Zika has Flash, might be forced to use it here, but should still be fairly safe.
Yeah, okay, burns the Flash. So that'll be, I'm sure, revisited, but we have to think about what the state of the map looks like. 2 dragons have already been taken by LNG. They also have 5 grubs, but another dragon coming up in a Cloud Soul nonetheless, and could be the focus right now that WeiWei is already going for.
Yeah, he'll take that one completely freely. LNG, because they moved so heavily towards bot side, dropped a load of wards there, which means that Scout can even push up towards that inner turret, as we just saw as well. LNG, they might be able to defend this top side, but I think, well, they do have that Zigzalt. Well, they'll be able to help a bit of it. Yeah, that's going to be that save too.
Enough.
LNG, they have been really comprehensively checking off the options which top esports have. They can't even cross-map onto top outer. This is bullying at this point, and it's top esports.
And
like, this is not the team that should be doing that.
Yeah, much to the chagrin of Meiko, he'll look across in his old brother-in-arms in Scout and say, man, why did you have to do it to me? Obviously, long-time partners on EDG, now against each other across the Rift. And Scout, Gala having incredible games so far in this series, but it's also Scout who absolutely dumpstered mid lane and has been since.
Yeah, the best LNG is one where they have a plan. The plan right now is fight.
Plan is just hit the go buttons and see what happens. JackeyLove is hitting pretty hard right now, and Zika just has to throw his life to it. Impale going to be flashed out of by Scout. Creme fake sealed onto 2 on LNG, and now their backs are against the wall, and you can't run from the approach velocity. Look how quick JackeyLove goes. Glacial Fisher on top of it all, and Tian finds Hung.
LNG, they had a plan, which was largely trade for towers across the map. As soon as they match up for a 5v5, once items have been built, top esports show, well, you cannot disrespect this team. Still, LNG are in the lead, still they have Soul Point, but that is a pretty stark reminder that they are still against top esports, which is part of why we've been so surprised in this game, is that LNG are doing this too, the 8-0 team in this group. LNG, they need to be very careful not to bite off more than they can chew in another one of these team fights again.
And I'll just say, we've stated it over and over again, but when you can be proactive with this combo, when you can have a ton of the CC layered up by wombo combos, that's where it comes clutch. And Creme having a big moment here.
Absolutely, and you know, I think top esports, their team composition has really good extra follow-up mobility and the ability to just keep following on and on into the fight. You've got the Yone, you've got the approach velocity on Ashe when you've got so many movement speeds built in her current build as well. See how hard it is to retreat from the play. Top esports walk away with a couple of important kills, evens up the kill score even.
We'll see now, even though they are down 5,000 gold, still a lot of fighting pressure with their compositional strength. They did lose that Dragon Soul point to LNG, so LNG will get a lot of decision-making power once that's up in about 3 minutes. But we have to circle back to what LNG were looking for and looking good at so far in this game, and it's looking for picks, and Meiko might be that one. They're going to try to catch him out here. Meiko does have friendlies to get to, and he is Braum. Does have the Glacial Fisher up now. Oh, yep, nope, it's not even up, and he's dead.
He just got popped. So LNG, they play for that big combo again. It's not quite the big grouped up fight that top esports would want it, but with cooldowns down, maybe top esports from losing their support could have found a fight while the ultimates were not available. Can't quite manage to do that. Might be able to get an inroad into mid lane turret though. Feels like LNG have not been able to lock top esports down across the map nearly as comprehensively as they did earlier. LNG need to be quite careful now. Their objective bounties up on the map too because of the dragons and the gold lead. They don't want to be giving too much gold back over to top esports when the fights were already fairly close.
And top esports have just been kind of hands-diffing people so far this split. This has been the first time that a kind of calculated entrance into the game has been really well played off. Not only on LNG's side for the first time this split, but also against top esports. And we'll see if that continues. Hung is trying to trade his life for JackeyLove. WeiWei is just going all in, but JackeyLove is space gliding all over him, and 369 pulls him away. A double kill ends over for Creme, who has really turned up in this game. He's going to fate seal his way to a scout death, and that's the kill going to 369. How did we get here, Nymeara? Top esports, they're going to do Baron now.
I mean, it's just blink and you miss it. Top esports decide, all right, our time now, our turn, and it's unspeakable violence LNG have been left in the dust. They out-macro top esports. They out-traded them with the towers. But as soon as it came to actually putting on the boxing gloves, LNG have been hugely out, as you were just saying. Top esports sometimes are just better. I love the way that 369 is forming a pocket for JackeyLove. JackeyLove cleanses out of the Ignite, and then the only damage on him is from the frontline members, is the tanks, and it means that the Ashe can just keep running through the fight because of 369 and the rest of the team buying space. Creme is then completely free to go forwards with the overextension of the front line from LNG. They walk away not just with the fight, but with the Baron as well.
Hey, what time is it? I'm trying to remember. Can you read the numbers there for me?
Well, it's currently 24:40. What
All right,
about
perfect.
that?
We're almost at 25 minutes, and that's exactly the time that Creme's about to pop off. The man has come back from literally nothing. He has built his kingdom out of dirt, and we'll see if he can actually pull it off into a gracious being.
He is the man who kept a little dirt under his pillow for the dirt man.
Exactly.
Now he has become the dirt man. You are not prepared.
Dirt man. Dragon is up. This is Soul for LNG.
It is, but can they win a fight? They have done so many good things this game. I was so happy for them, but they haven't been able to get those big fights. And now with the Baron being Dragon being spawned, Creme stacking his Q off of it with Flash, with ult, LNG have to do an incredibly dangerous approach.
They're so hesitant. They didn't want to go forward. Now it leaves the room for top esports to find the fate sealed again. A triple knockup, a double impale, but 369 left out and picked arm by arm apart by LNG. Gala ends up finding a big one. We do have a lot of damage from Tian in that fight, but LNG, they do not want to let the backs go through. Not going to find it, and they actually strike true, but lose their soul.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. They get one kill, and they're able to force top esports off the map. Interested to see, because there are so many backs coming through from top esports, even with the Baron, whether LNG could have set up some waves in their favor. Can't quite get to top lane fast enough to set up anything there, so sadly, for the side of LNG, not going to be quite able to finish off the rest of this Baron push from top esports. Got a minute left. I think they should be able to get towards this mid lane out of turret. Gala needs to be quite careful if he sticks around, because they are still under threat of being engaged onto.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow will be coming up shortly, but not available just yet. And that's really the rotation you're looking for top esports, who have carved the lead down to just under 3,000 gold for themselves. That Baron buff going to be going down here soon. Just about 1,500 in that play. It has been a very interesting series of events, and LNG losing a lot of their confidence.
See that Creme stacking up the Q on the Dragon. Just tries to get... Oh, no, he actually misses the last Q because he's killed before he could get it, which means that he takes a little while to get his combo online. Doesn't quite get the Q3 on Scout either. If Scout dies, I think they can run away with the back end of this fight.
We're back in picture. JackeyLove is caught out. Oh, no. That means LNG are just going to send an avalanche mid lane. There's no turret there. They can just take the inhib.
And they still have the Ziggs, who is really good at killing towers. Suddenly LNG, wait, I mean, are they going to go for the end? They might just try it.
Top esports have not bled. They have not had their lip bloodied so far in the split, and they will not just yet. They defend. The inhib is the sacrifice.
Oh my word, LNG, they managed to find a really good pick onto JackeyLove in the mid lane. Didn't get to see exactly how that happened, how he was left alone on an island there in mid lane, but LNG used it to take an inhib, threaten even an end to the game. Lucky that Creme could wave clear just in time. LNG showed that there is still a little bit of sharpness left to this play. What happens to he's taking the Raptors on wards. He doesn't have himself the cleanse from this one. That's the Zenith blade through the Ash Arrow. Really well played from Hung, who manages to make his own play. He's the one leading that one. He leads his team to a really important moment. Gala's now 5-0-1 as well. This Ziggs is really, really powerful. Maybe that could decide things.
It was a huge pickup when he came over from RNG. Spending so much time building a legacy there and joining a team that's starting to try to build a new chapter for themselves. Scout, the big one, obviously with the double MVPs, but Gala has been no slouch in taking the spotlight from time and time again. We do have 3.5 items now for him as well with that Crypt Bloom. We'll be looking at those item spikes to be super important, especially on the side of top esports, who just are waiting for a third item for Creme.
So, let's have a look at what's spawning. Couple of minutes until both of the big objectives come up. What's happening with the waves? We've got some people heading towards side lanes, but right now, it's LNG with better deep vision onto at least the blue side jungle of top esports. So, LNG have some extra vision to play around top esports, not without their own information, though. Got a couple of wards put down. They're being cleared out. You can see right now, again, it's all about who can land that first combo. A lot of it comes from that vision and from pushing in waves to make it that much easier to find angles.
LNG left wanting on the picks they were maybe looking for, but time will tell how quickly this game will end. One fell swoop by LNG can end the game. If they get one more big fight, they have an open way down mid lane. And this dragon could just be that. And LNG, who maybe hasn't been the brightest star of this Group C in top esports, who definitely has.
So, big things to note. Summoner spells largely available for top esports. They have Tian's Flash coming up very soon, and that'll complete the full set. On the other side, LNG, they don't have the full flash on Hung. I don't know how far that'll be off of the Hex Flash cooldown. But also, Zika doesn't have his own teleport suit. We're coming into this with a full arsenal. We have more onto JackeyLove, makes it harder to burst him out. We have the stopwatch onto Zika. This could be one last fight to end the game. I think it's going to come down to a lot of those summoners and how effectively they're used. Having JackeyLove with his summoners available, very important for LNG to recognize that they can't easily shut this guy down through the Maw Shield.
LNG want to pull the play on the Baron side here. Top esports willingly going to walk forward. They're going to TP in. Meiko taking a ton of damage there.
So that's going to be Creme pushing in a wave towards the bot side. 369 using his full shields and using his tankiness to buy some vision into this river brush. They see the waters there and they realize they can't walk up. Good QSS.
Yeah, huge insta QSS there. A little bit of Captain Jack action. JackeyLove getting chunked pretty heavily, and this is where some of that sustained damage with the poke from LNG will actually start paying off here. And Scout particularly needs to hit those shock blasts, but Dragon is already started up. That means that LNG are going straight to the Baron.
They might be a bit late, though. They get to the back. They haven't even started it just yet. So they're probably looking for a turn fight. That one ward gives enough information. Top esports. No, they don't have to go towards the Baron pit. They go towards mid lane. Instead, LNG lose the objective trade.
LNG really do not want to give over this outer turret. Hung goes in for the Zenith play, but the left side of the fight is still locked out. Equalizer going to draw a line in the sand as Creme Face seals his way out of there. Hung is in there like swimwear, baby. Glacial Fissure goes in, but Impale onto the tank. JackeyLove steps up and connects onto Hung. Now you got top esports turning the fight onto the west side. But Zika and Gala, they still have a decent amount of damage over that wall. LNG need to be careful in the back end of this fight. Hawk shot goes through. No long distance tools available to top esports just yet, but the long distance tools are there for LNG.
Oh my word, the carries don't die on either side. Massive credit, as it always is in these team fights, to 369 for body blocking and managing to stop Scout from flashing in to combo the backline down into death. It is just a load of HP bar damage and just Hung going down. Top esports, they do lose that flash on JackeyLove. We talked about how that summoner economy impacts this game. LNG, maybe they can force a big play now that that flash is down on JackeyLove to a bit more success. Again, when we look at this, look at how the front line on either side is playing to deny the entrance onto the back line. The E came through from Creme, which meant he could disengage, but then he has to go out immediately. He doesn't have his Q3 stacked up. Look right here towards the end of it. Scout massively threatening. Hung going in and getting some CC down. The combo from Jace would kill, but this instant reaction from 369 to make sure he can't get in saves the fight. So clutch by the top laner of top esports.
And a reason why you picked the Skarner, but we're not done yet. You think this is not going to be a banger? Well, it's about to be. Zika comes in with the TP, Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes wide there. Baron pulled off of as LNG had to come out for the defense.
So LNG, they're not really able to spread the map wide open. They are still defending this mid lane out of turrets, making their job a lot easier. Gala has so much wave clicks, he has so much gold. The top esports are struggling to take that one down. Their siege is not always the best. They have majority melee characters, and it makes it harder to hit that tower, especially getting range. And look at the damage coming through from that poke.
There's a big reason why they're super pertinent about saving that tower. It's because it enables all the long-range poke on either side objective every single time. They always have something to run back to, and LNG are utilizing it very well. You wonder why they're full committing to try to defend this outer turret.
There is a little bit of lifesteal now on JackeyLove. That makes it easier for him to get access to wave and heal through some stuff, but he doesn't have full access to it yet. If he goes up to a full Bloodthirster, that'll be very, very powerful. It might be worth doing that even over something like the Blade of the Ruin King, which is typically stronger on Ashe just because of the huge lifesteal values. If they can deny some of this poke, if they can step out of it a little better, then LNG fight these fights a lot harder. But for now, we have returned to a lot of mid-game, mid-lane, well, late-game rather, mid-lane warfare, because it is all about trying to hit those skill shots from LNG and seeing if they can find themselves an angle onto that flashless Ashe and finally get those carries killed.
That's why it just feels like a Old West saloon here or something, because both sides have so much tremendous go buttons to press. It's just about who connects it at the right time and who can follow it up. It's very clear who has the right to press those buttons in terms of the abilities drawn, but Top Esports going to keep pressuring LNG. It is going to be a TP back in the mid lane by Gala. Meiko and 369. That's the impale over the wall. They grab him out, but that's the immediate going golden from Zika. They're going to turn right back on the Creme, who overextended into the fight. Top Esports needs to run away. But I don't know if they're very fast here. A little bit of damage back from Tian. Equalizer to slow everybody down. Mega Inferno Bomb will help take half of Tian's health. They turn right back onto the big purple worm.
And they still have a lot of skill shots to fire out towards them. Tian does have flash, does have pyroclasm. This might not be over yet.
Yeah, if he can just get it in there. You just have to get it in there. Tian, you just gotta get in there, baby. He's been the huge difference maker, and he'll do it again. He falls, but the damage has been done, and JackeyLove is still kicking. Scout actually has the GA possible now. JackeyLove, though, he's got the distance, he's got the damage, and 369 as a front line. It helps equalize things a little bit here in Top Esports. They move in, clear out, as Scout's going to TP in mid lane to try to save it.
Oh, he does manage to just about clear out this wave. They're clinging on to for dear life to this turret. But with the Baron steal from Tian, that might just have broken the deadlock in this game. It has been such a close late game around these big objectives. But it is that man in the jungle who has had so many MVP performances so far that just about clutches it out. 369, he almost clutches this out. It's a blind ult, pops him back over the wall with that impale. You can do that with Skarner nowadays, which very nearly wins this fight. Creme oversteps though, which evens up the big plays in this fight. Sadly for him, he has had a bit of a difficult time of it on the One. LNG have made his life very difficult. They very nearly make Top Esports' life very difficult around the Baron, but they can't quite keep Tian out. They're really afraid of the big burst combo coming through and JackeyLove getting the free fire. That's why they burst down this Baron. They want to make sure that they can clear this out because they know they can't delay any longer. Just means that Tian gets in to get that steal. Very well timed from him to get that objective.
Yeah, and you give your life 10 times out of 10 right there for that. You get a huge steal. A little bit of dodging from JackeyLove as well, but 369 and JackeyLove will clean that up every single time. Now we get back onto the map. A dragon was taken. Where have we seen this before? JackeyLove getting caught, but he's able to turn it right back. This time, the strength is there. Oh, Mega Inferno Bomb delivers him justice, and he's down. Creme gonna instantly cleanse out of that one with the Mercurial Scimitar. Now, Fate sealed back onto the other side of the fight. He has to go back, though, and now that GA had come clutch for Scout. He'll still die. And 369 Meiko, the front line that Tian has been looking for on this brand. He's got to get the damage in, but it's really Zika who might be in some trouble here. Looking at the concussive blows from Meiko, it can make the big difference here, but LNG are going to push down mid lane.
And they have themselves, two of the biggest threats on the board off the table. Tian has to get back to base. He's the only damage left from Top Esports. This should deny the Baron push, at least. So LNG, they find themselves a huge pick onto JackeyLove. And then Creme afterwards, which means that the Baron, as masterfully stolen as it was, is not going to be the ending of this game. Really surprised that JackeyLove didn't flash out of that final skill shot. The ultimate coming out of Gala, just really underestimating the damage of his opposite number. It starts with a play onto him. He's a little bit far from the rest of his team. He's close to Tian, but he's on his own. Forces the flash out first. He has good items. He has more. He has the Bloodthirster. You still can't do this.
No,
He just goes in and one-hits everything. Gets hit by multiple skill shots at the end and goes down. Overconfidence by JackeyLove. Could have flashed out. Could have kept life stealing. Ends up going down. And puts Top Esports into a very difficult scenario. Creme does manage to get the initial GA proc out of Scout, but he ends up dying for the attempt as well.
And these fights are so tooth and nail. It's actually insane. Again, a lot of that undersung damage by Tian in this one, but as well as the guns on LNG, you're starting to get real strong. Gala has silently gone 7-0 on this Ziggs and has made such a massive difference in the damage profile of LNG in a lot of these. And he just finished his Horizon Focus. He is full build.
It says something that you can have, you know, the QSS, you can have the Maw, you can have the Cleanse and Flash, and JackeyLove still gets one-shot by this dude. I mean, Gala is so strong, 2,000 gold up of the 4-item. AD carry on the other side has funneled his way through to a massively powerful build. Top Esports, when they are going forwards, if Ashe is left out of the lurch and gets hit by a stray skill shot, JackeyLove's teamfight might just be over at this point. Feels really hard for Top Esports to get clean fight victories because Gala is always going to be in range to do damage to someone important now.
He's going to have a lot of say, but they're going to have to play around him. I think a lot of the peel maybe not there because you have a lot of just go forward buttons for LNG. So definitely keeping an eye on Gala's positioning here is super important. And JackeyLove's Enchanted Crystal Arrows as well going to be really important to keep an eye on.
I can't believe we don't have a soul yet.
He's got 1,200 gold from first strike. That can't be right?
That's an investment. I mean, we're 40 minutes into it, so yeah. And dude, he is a 7-0 Ziggs who has managed to hit people for 1,000,000 points of damage across the game.
It's almost a needlessly large rod from a rune.
I think he deserves it at this point. You know, I wouldn't even be surprised if he sold off his boots at some point for another big item. He could potentially do that, and we'll have to see what he can do in the next minute of the game, because both the big objectives are spawning again. Folks, we have not been very good at conservation. Our poor endangered species of dragons are even more so now. We've killed 6 of them in this game. No one's even got a soul. Got 3 dragons on either side, and this last one may well be the last one, because if you lose a fight now around this dragon, around the Baron coming up as well, that will probably be the game. We've had close fights. Yeah. All it takes is one to swing open the doors. Big go buttons again. Remember, can we get JackeyLove down? Can we kill an important target?
They end up catching out WeiWei here. They're not going to go for it in the end. But yeah, it's been 3 dragons in a row that Top Esports have denied from LNG. A Cloud Soul would be huge for either side, but Top Esports, they use some of this momentum in mid lane to take a tier 2 here.
They don't even have grubs. They don't need them. So many items. Losing topside and Scout. Okay, are we getting to the point where we're stopping backs? Jace slaughters turrets in late game without a hypercharger. The dragon's spawning, but someone needs to go back. They have to teleport.
Creme, he gets stopped. Creme with a bold TP there. Can't go deny Scout in the side lane now. And that's another inhib tower going down.
Well, I think Scout can even stay. I mean, we've got 369 now in the vicinity, but I think he gets burst out by the Jace. Late game Jace does so much damage. 369 needs to be careful. LNG, they can play the balancing act. Dragon and the inhib.
Now watch JackeyLove's positioning here at Gala as well. They are crucial to these fights. Scout's taking a fight against 369 in the picture-in-picture here. They're going to TP, and Gala is there to make the difference. This could be the game-ending play, although that Impale's going to get 369 a little bit of damage down, and they actually end up taking Creme, taking Scout down, and they have a Gala kill there. Now we have the 3v3 kicking off in mid lane too, but that Pyroclasm, it's burning them straight to hell, Nymeara. A double kill goes over to JackeyLove, and now Zika's running for the hills.
Oh, Gala teleports to try and be the game-ending threat. All he can do is make it a 1-for-1 around the top inhib. He's so strong, but he can't deal with Creme. Top Esports, they'll save the game, they'll get the Baron, they'll be able to return to the Dragon almost certainly after this point with the length of the death timers from LNG. LNG thought they had the answer to the late-game smoke and mirrors macro, but all they've done is end up falling a little bit flat on their face. They're teleporting back in towards the Dragon, but they don't have Scout and WeiWei. If Top Esports turn up in force, this could be a problem.
It was a massive LNG lead, dwindled down to a deficit now. 2,000 gold down, but at this point in the game, it doesn't matter. Dragon burned quickly by LNG, and they'll secure that Cloud Soul.
Okay, so Top Esports, they choose to reset instead of immediately running back towards the bot side of the map. Gives enough time for LNG to claim this one. We're finally going to have a look at what happens on the top side. Skarner is really strong. I thought he would manage to get burst out by the Jace. Just doesn't happen. And as we see, Creme doesn't get his teleport towards the top side. Does get to recall, even if it does turn into a 1-for-1. It saves the game nonetheless. I think that Braum Cube puts Zucker into a really, really sad position. Has to Zhonya's very quickly, and then everything just goes wild.
Everything goes a little wide, too, as JackeyLove flashing forward there. It was a really nice equalizer back on top of it, but man, as soon as Tian hits his R button, the dopamine levels just skyrocketed.
Brand is one of these AP carry junglers. Yeah, he is a carry. Sejuani can't exactly do that amount of damage. It's one of the reasons why we've seen so many teams go towards this. It's felt like it's much easier to enable the Brand, Karthus, Lilia, Zyra, all of these style of champions can be huge teamfight threats towards the end of the game. Tian is he's making himself known at this point. Gonna have huge damage numbers by the end of this by hitting the front line. We are finally opening up the map again. Zika going topside, pushing out that wave. Top Esports using their Baron buff, the last minute of it, to push in towards that bot side. Arrow did not manage to catch Scout on the other side of the map there. That would have been a very painful arrow to be skewered by. And now LNG have to respond. They pushed out topside. Now they need to defend bot, hopefully keep onto their inhib.
How fitting it is that these two teams go the distance, at least in this first game. Top Esports have come from nothing, it felt like, in this one to a very positive game state for them. LNG were looking so clean, so dominant, but we've known Top Esports is having one hell of a split. Top Esports have not lost a single game. They're looking to make that continue to be true. Glacial Prison does go out. Meiko going to need to pop his Glacial Fissure there, but the Equalizer coming out. He didn't pop it, so he still has it available. He does end up getting the triple knockup with it. Tian hits the Pyroclasm, and look how much damage he's going to be doing. The burn is coming in clutch, so they were able to back them off, but Scout wants to make it happen, going with his advantage onto Tian. Creme's going to have to fade seal his way out of that. They want the cavalry's chasing him down right now. Look at WeiWei. He's going to go for the Flash Arctic Assault. Tian is down. LNG have caught Top Esports with their pants down, and that's a double kill for Scout. They're looking for bot lane priority here.
Oh, LNG knew that Top Esports were dead to rights and bot side. Their bodies just hadn't caught up just yet. They managed to get a couple of really important death timers on the board. Of course, remember, they have the Cloud Soul. They move faster. They can chase you down quicker. Look how quick they were to chase them down. Top Esports, they got the Baron in trade for that. It feels like the Cloud Soul ends up being more valuable. They get to push in towards bot side, open up an inhibitor at the bare minimum. How much can they get from this?
8-0-4 is Gala, and it's continuing the onslaught. He had his construction hat on, or more like his deconstruction hat on, as he's throwing bombs left and right. It's everything that LNG could have ever asked for, and they will strike true on Top Esports for the first time here in summer. They've got the autos on the Nexus, and Top Esports, they are mortal.
LNG, it has been a while, folks, seeing them being this decisive in the important moments of the game. They had a mid-game stumble. I think that's a lot of credit towards Top Esports and their team fighting prowess, but LNG, fantastic early game that was knocked off pace. Gets well back on track towards that late game. And honestly, the play which wins the game is one of those rare examples of a clear Cloud Soul difference. They had the move speed differential. They popped their ultimates. They chased them down. And as we said, Top Esports were already dead. They just didn't realize it yet. LNG did. They take game one. First loss of the entirety of summer for Top Esports.
Yeah, and very close, if not our longest game of the split. I'm not sure. The longest one before that was 47-12. I didn't catch the time at the very end because of the hype of it, but Shujo is definitely going to be alive and well after that one. LNG strike true and strike blood off Top Esports, but they are not one to back down from a fight. That one was a banger. I'm sure game two is going to have just as much in store for us. Let's take a break, breathe a little bit, and we'll come back.